12 years ago, we walked the Kokoda track. I walked it with my son, a very good friend and his son, and we brought back some fantastic memories. And when we got back, I was inspired to write a poem, and here it is, simply titled Our Kokoda. A call went out one Christmas to walk the Kokoda track, and when the list of names came in, there'd be no turning back. For months we trained at Montrose, up and down that wretched slope. We'd heard so much about the track, we wondered if we'd cope. Then over to the 1,000 steps, another grueling test. We'd get our bodies fighting fit and put them to the test. The months went by so quickly, the days soon came to pass, that we flew out to New Guinea to face the track at last. The temperature was hot that day, the humidity was foul. If anyone had second thoughts, they better speak up now. But all were keen to make a start. We were chomping at the bit. Let's get this journey underway. We're ready to commit. We trucked it to Bamana, an Aussie war cemetery. 3,000 diggers buried there, a tragic sight to see. We walked between the headstones and read the words inscribed. So many young men fought and died, it filled us all with pride. We bowed our heads in silence and said a solemn prayer for all the diggers who gave their lives to show them we still cared. Owa's Corner was our next stop. It's where our trek would start. We donned our boots, our packs, our gear. We're ready to depart. Our camera started clicking. The Kokoda art stood there. We headed down the track at last. Our war cries filled the air. But excitement turned to hard work, and hard work turned to pain. We struggled up every ridge, then did it all again. We trekked into Wirrabaya and watched the sun go down. Our bodies ached all over as we sat upon the ground. That night our porters sang out their songs of national pride. We found it quite emotional as we sat there side by side. That night we slept like babies. We all had had enough. We hoped this track might flatten out. We sure found the going tough. But the next few days were steep terrain, then on to Brigade Hill. The memories of this battle site linger with us still. We read the names of fallen diggers, the porters when they sung. The poems read in the spirit there was sure a special one. We closed our eyes and bowed our heads and sang Amazing Grace. We felt that we were standing in a very sacred place. Then we pushed on to Minari, and I really should admit, the question did go through my mind. I felt that I could quit. But the story of the diggers and the way they battled on really did inspire us and kept us feeling strong. The last surviving linesman we had the privilege to meet, and the last fuzzy wuzzy angel was an honour hard to beat. Minari marked our halfway point, our point of no return. Every step we took from now would be of less concern. But this next stage was vertical. It was something to be seen. If you've ever heard of Everest, you'll know exactly what I mean. But we pushed on slow and steady. It was one step at a time. We knew we had to pace ourselves. There were still more hills to climb. Then we came upon a small brass plaque that told us of a story of two young brothers who fought for mates and glory. One was mortally wounded, and right there where he lay, his brother sang, "Oh Danny boy," as he slowly passed away. And I thought of my own son as tears rolled down my face. This track was turning out to be a very moving place. We pulled out early morning and tracked all through that day, then into Isaraba, so many miles away. Then we saw them in the distance, and someone yelled out loud. It was the 4 marble pillars, standing tall and proud. They told a story of mateship and courage to the end, of endurance and sacrifice is the message that they send. It's a message of hope and peace, both for you and me, and how our soldiers fought for us to keep our country free. Well, we tracked into Kokoda, and you should have heard the sound as we pulled up to a stop and our packs all hit the ground. We hugged and kissed each other. There was high fives all around. The relief was overwhelming as we collapsed upon the ground. We had trained our bodies very well, but our minds were unprepared for the story of the diggers and the tales that we shared. We pushed our bodies on and on through blisters, sweat and pain. But if I had another chance, I'd do it all again. Thanks, guys.